So a little while ago, I built a special based on an Austin 10. It was Reliant powered, and I called it the Rat. It was an awesome little car. It's a little scamp, and I had good fun with it. So I smoked it around for 18 months and give it a good shakedown. And it came to a time where I needed to sell it because of other projects and what have you, and just needing some money and stuff. So I decided to sell it not via usual channels, but to sell it via my YouTube. And I got people to email me. And what that enabled me to do was kind of vet the people so I could check out what they were like, if they actually understood what they were getting into by buying this car. Anyway, it sold to a guy called Matt who lives in France. And I had a really, really good feeling about Matt. I felt he was indeed the fella to take on the Rat. And it turns out I was right. So, over to France with Matt and the continuing saga of the Austin 10 Special Rat.
Salut les garçons, je suis Matt, j'habite en France avec le Rat. That's the end of the French people, I've got nothing. Brian's been asked by a lot of people what's happened to the Rat, what's it doing, where's it at, so he asked me if I'd make a little video, and here I am. So I kind of want to share with you the story, if I can, of the first couple of weeks of owning the car. I'm going to be as brief as I can be, but I do tend to waffle on, so make yourself comfy, make a cup of tea, or just fast forward through this claptrap and get back to Brian, which I know is what you probably want to watch. Anywho, we picked the car up from Brian. My son, little backstory, lives in New Zealand. He was over, we don't see him very often, so this was a great thing for us to do together. He went and picked the car up, brought it over to France. We then towed it back down. We live in the south of France, and we spent a couple of days tinkering it because we had the opportunity to spend the day together in a city called Angoulême. If you know Angoulême, it's famous for a couple of things. It's where the author of Tintin was born. It's also where once a year they have a classic car meeting. The Circuit du Rempart, sorry for the pronunciation if you actually speak French, but it's a classic car meeting of some standing, and we wanted to go along. We wanted to take the Rat. I'm a member of the local car club. They agreed that we could go with them and be in convoy with them and be in the little car park area they're allocated. So on the morning we met up, and to be honest, it was a little bit of a shock because the car park had a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Porsche, you know, modern, fast stuff, and us. But it was fine, we're a club, we're all going to stick together. We drove out in convoy, it was fine for 10 or 15 minutes. We get on the motorway and it's fine for another 5 minutes, at which point the driver of the McLaren decided it was time to do a little flexing. He went past me, conservative guess, 175, 185 miles an hour. At which point everyone decided to follow him. But that was okay because all of them knew that one of the others had been told to make sure that we got there and to let us follow them. So they all knew that we were being helped by someone else, which in fact we weren't. We got completely separated from them. We were lost. This isn't a small event. This is thousands of cars. They come from all over the world. There were cars shipped in. We met people from Jordan and from Australia and from South Africa and from America and from New Zealand, all over Europe, England, everywhere. So it's a huge event. We weren't fazed. We'll just enjoy our day. We don't need the club. Okay, we can't go on the proper rally, and okay, lunch has now become a bit of a problem, but it's okay. You know, we're resourceful. So we're driving through Angoulême, taking in all the sights. We come to a roundabout. There's a couple of Bugattis stopped on the roundabout. There's a little, like a press stand with photographers, and they're taking pictures of these cars as they pass. So we stop, respectful distance back, let them take their pictures. As we go to drive away, the photographer flags us down. He wants to take some pictures. So he does, and now there's another couple of Bugattis and a blower Bentley and another Bentley behind us, and we're a little bit trapped, and we shout to the person in front, where do we go? And she says, oh, follow us. So we now turn right and we go up this little ramp, and that's where the Rat was entered in the Concours d'Elegance at Angoulême 2024. We're parked up in a car park with film cameras from all around the world and photographers and beautiful cars, and it's the Rally of Legends, and it was incredible. We were told that we needed to go for coffee and pastries with all the other drivers and crew, so we did. It was wonderful. We stood, we talked about cars. Not going to lie, there was a little bit of a crowd around all of the cars, but the Rat, it's like a people magnet. And now all of a sudden one car starts up and they start to drive. They drive to the gate and we're looking, we don't know what to do because we're not meant to be there, remember? We haven't got the itinerary. And another car starts up and I said to the guy in the car next to me, so what do we do now? Oh, just start the car, get in the queue. We get in the queue, we get to the gate. The security guard on the gate, he says, placard, bracelet, ticket, invitation. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. When the guy in the Bugatti behind us just shouts, he's with us, give him a book and let him through. Okay, so we then get given the road book for the Rally of Legends. We spend the next 100 kilometers driving with all of these beautiful cars and these hilarious people. I gotta tell you, people who own Bugattis and blower Bentleys and they're like, they're all mad. They don't give a flying toss. At one point, we're driving through Angoulême quite slowly because there's the traffic. This woman yells, follow me. She's on the pavement. She's in the bus lane. It's not just a painted bus lane. There's a curb between the two. And we are now in convoy flying down the bus lane. Everyone's clapping and cheering. Oh, this is brilliant. Anyway, we drive for a couple of hours. We arrive at this lovely little lake. There's a breakfast buffet. There's fruits and pastries and coffees and breakfast beers, which is a thing in France. If you don't live in France, come to France. Breakfast beer, come on. So yeah, that's all going on. We just wander in and we join in and we're now part of the team. Everyone's talking about the car and the cars and stuff. We drive another hour, we arrive at this most stunning chateau. I mean, it's incredible where the sit-down three-course lunch is taking place. We now find out from the only stroppy people we met a stroppy couple of English people, they were horrible. They were really upset because they'd paid €600 to go on the Rally of Legends. Everyone else thought it was hilarious that we blagged our way in the Rat. They were really upset. It wasn't fair that they'd paid £600. Right up until one of the other guys literally told them to fuck off and wind the necks in, which was fantastic. So lunch is done. Another 70 kilometers of driving, and this thing is now, it's finished. It's all starting to come to an end. Every town we go through now, there's hundreds of people. They're clapping and cheering. The Rat is like I said, a people magnet. Kids love it. This, honestly, the kids were just made up. Who they were made up. We get to what we think is the end, and we're all now going to part company. We drive round the corner, and it ends at the military barracks at Angoulême, where there are thousands of people just crammed. Remember like the Group A rallying in the 80s, where they all used to cram right up? So you've got to drive through, and there's people high-fiving and cheering and clapping. And as you get towards the end of that, there's a man with a microphone and he's reading the numbers off of the placard for the Rally of Legends, and he's looking down his list and he's introducing the drivers and the cars, and we arrive with no placard and no number, and he just looks at the list and he looks at the people and he just starts clapping and cheering and waves us on. So we parked up again. We spent a couple of hours there again, just chatting and talking cars to people. Huge, great crowd around the Rat. Everybody loves it. And then we set off home. We came the country route home. Another couple of hours. We arrived home just as the sun was setting, and genuinely had the most wonderful day. I see my son once every 2 or 3 years. He's 26 years of age. I don't think we ever had a better day. We just laughed and joked all the time, and genuinely, like from my heart, I'm so pleased that I got to buy this car. Thanks to Brian for building such a hilarious vehicle. Thanks for selling it to me. I don't know why he picked me, but thanks for selling it to me when I know he had a lot of people after it. I know I didn't offer the most money of anyone out there. Without Brian and without the Rat, my son and I would have had a lovely day, I'm sure, but not the best day we'd ever had. So there you go. There's the first adventure with the Rat in France, which has now, by the way, been nicknamed by the locals as the Bouscrappy, because we're part of the Bugatti Owners Club. If you're at all interested in what's happening to the Rat going forwards, let Brian know. If he asks me, I'm happy to make some more videos. If you're already bored of my shit, then radio silence. I'll tell him we're bored of his shit, and I won't do any more. In the meantime, keep making cool shit out of old shit. Stay kind, and big love. The headlight, which we actually drove in the dark for the first time on the way to Angoulême. I got to be honest, I was amazed at just how shit it is. At one point, when it got a little bit lighter, I could see that the front wheels were turning, so that was useful, but it looks brilliant. It's staying exactly as it is. Who drives in the dark anyway?